welcome everyone. This is Glenda Dawson, and you're watching Glenda's Dragon's Den. And I'd like to thank my audience for being here, whether you watch this live or you watch this later in recording. Uh, I'm always grateful for your support. I'm always grateful for you liking the videos, sharing, and telling and encouraging others to subscribe, to follow, because this is the way we continue to learn, we continue to grow, and we continue to see other perspectives of the same things. We are all here for the same reasons. We're here to follow whatever path we
Hello.
signed up for, and then we go back to love, right? All paths lead to love. And I have a wonderful guest today, Ariella, and she is basically on the other side of the world, people. Yes. And unfortunately, it's very late for her. So, I feel bad, but she is willing to be here with me, go through the torture of doing this in her nighttime, where she should be probably sleeping now. But I'm very grateful. How you doing, Ariella? Welcome.
I am fine. Thank you so much for having me here. It's a
Oh, the
pleasure.
pleasure is all mine, and my audience, I know, is going to love you. I know. So tell the audience about you.
Okay, so I'm Ariella. I'm a Nigerian, so it's nighttime in Nigeria. I don't know if you can see the full moon behind me. I am a content writer, strategist, and trauma informed poet. Basically, I help hearts heal and I help stories turn into growth and transformation.
Very good, very good. And how did you get to that? What happened in your life? How did you get directed to this path?
Wow. Okay, so this is going to be like a backstory. So ever since I was
Hmm.
a little kid, I am someone that I tend to feel people's emotion. Like I may not be able to relate to what happened to you, but I would feel what you are. It felt weird because I don't really come from a home where emotions are appreciated, where basically it's okay to cry, it's okay to not want to talk to people, it's okay to feel sad all of a sudden. So that stage of my life was really, really weird for me because there was no one to tell me, that, okay, this is what you are feeling, Ariella. This is how you should deal with it. And now basically I'm on the path to help others heal. And I remember there was this incident that happened when I was 12. A close friend of mine lost her dad, and she was just crying, and I started crying. Asked me why I was crying. I didn't know, but like I was just crying because
Hmm.
I just felt so emotional. I just felt so bad. And I didn't want my mom to see me cry because then she's
Right.
gonna be like, "Oh, why are you crying? Women don't cry. Do you know what happened? Why are you crying? You shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that." So I just held all that pain in, and over time I've realized that healing isn't just a straight path. And it's okay to not be okay.
Right. Right.
And basically if you know someone with it, basically it's okay to show emotions. Like you want to cry, it is very, very okay to cry. You don't feel like talking to your roommates today, you don't feel like talking to your husband right now, you don't feel like being in crowd. It is totally fine. It is totally fine. At that particular time, what you really need is yourself. You just
Hmm.
need to be with yourself. You just need to calm down and study your own emotions. Why am I feeling this way? Is there anything I can do to make my mood better? Or is there how I can talk to someone? Because one thing people are really scared of is talking to people about how they feel, especially in this digital world of social media, where even when you are sad, you have to be aesthetically pleasing online in order to show that you are sad. So it's just really, really a lot. So yeah, and that's why I'm here to help people know that it's okay to not be okay.
Right. So basically, you were an empath from the very beginning, and nobody explained to you what an empath was. Because you're picking up everybody's emotions. You're walking by the person. You're walking into a place, and all of a sudden you feel overwhelmed, and you don't even know. And That's very hard, especially for a child to not understand. So you had your own traumas just because of that.
Eh,
And and like you said, your family wasn't really understanding as to what was happening there.
Emotions, yes.
Yeah. Now, did you find help? Like, did you somebody finally said to you in your teenage years, this is what's going on, or did you have to wait till later?
You won't believe me when I say this, but I figured it out all on my own.
Good, good.
I all on my own.
Very,
I read books, I watched videos, like I don't know, but I feel like as I aged, the more I got to understand, okay, this is why I am feeling this emotion. And it became so clear to me that, okay, it is not a normal thing. Because tell me why I am walking on the road and I see maybe someone sad and I'm already crying. I don't know you from anywhere, but like I don't even know what happened to you, but like I can just feel the emotions, and the people around me were not like that. So it got me thinking, but okay, I think this is something special, and I think I can use this gift of mine to actually help people, show them that
mm-hmm,
it's okay. It's always okay. You always be fine. You always be fine.
mm-hmm, exactly. And once you know what it is, then you can work with it, right? Um, that's good. So you basically had an awakening moment where you decided to study, 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 and grow, 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 and now you're using what you went through and your experiences to help others. Now, a little birdie told me you write poems. Tell me all about that.
Oh, I have always loved writing ever since I was a little kid. I would write and write and write, even when I was supposed to be sleeping, like my bedtime, and I had school the next day. I would be writing,
Shh, we
and
don't
my
tell
mom would
anybody. We won't tell anybody.
and my mom would literally come in my room and she would be like, "What are you writing?" She would say it in my language, my native language. That's Yoruba, like "Kilomode in call," like that's in the English translation. It means, "What are you
Right.
writing by this time of the day? Like,
Right.
don't you get time?" And she would take my book and she would read it and she'll be like, "This English is too big for your age. Where did you hear this English? It's too big." And again, poetry was always a way because I'm not really the best at expressing myself openly, like everywhere, and I get nervous
Right.
easily. And I most times don't know the words to say. So poetry was basically me just pouring out my heart on paper, all the things my head wants to say, but I just, let my heart take control. I don't script, I don't do anything. I just sit and I just let it flow. And yeah, it always comes out at least okay.
Well, you went through your childhood where you were told don't cry, don't show emotions. So at least you were able to use that as an outlet, able to write it out, get it out of your system because let's face it, if we keep all that in, we explode and have a mental breakdown, or we get physically sick because we don't allow it
Yes.
to flow and everything gets stuck and all that. So now, did you go to any particular schooling or anything like that that has helped you further?
Oh, fun fact, I'm actually currently studying psychology. Like it led me to study
Good.
psychology. And I just realized just how passionate I am about helping people. And now that like I even have like a blueprint of, oh, this is how we study human behavior, this is how we study how humans actually think. It has really helped me expand my work, expand my reach, and to deeply understand my audience and basically how to write with them. Because there's something I always say is that I don't write for you, I write with you.
Right. Perfect. Perfect. And yes, that is a perfect type of studies because it helps you understand where they're coming from so you can kind of work around that. Now, you not only help them write and all that, but um, what is really, how would you explain one of the things that you say you are a content strategist?
Okay, so I am a content strategist for brands, basically brands who want to connect deeply with their audience, but they know how to. Basically, helping brands to tell their stories, to give them clarity, to give them purpose, to give them the connection they need with their audience. So when your audience sees your brand, they're like, "Oh my God, this is for me." Like,
Hmm.
I need this, I need this, I need to connect with this person. Oh, this person feels me, this person hears me, this person knows exactly what I am facing. And it's just a really beautiful thing, because when you connect with your audience, it just takes that relationship one step further. Like, it's no longer, transactional like most things in this world, but rather it's now like a very close knitted community you can call family of your own, and everybody is just blooming beautifully
Hmm.
together.
Perfect, perfect. I love that. Because people think that healing, and people think that blossoming and all that is just oh, I got to do it, a personal thing. And yes, it's a personal thing, but when you have others that think alike, that are like minded, it helps you and you help them. So if one heals in the group, all of them experience healing. And it's wonderful. Now, do you have any um, any place where people can read? Do you sell your poems? Do you have any place? Do you have you decided to write it and say in a book form for Amazon? Let's just say that.
Well, so you guys are going to get the first sneak peek. So I'm actually currently working on my poetry book, that's 30 Steps to Healing. And it's basically every single poem I've ever wrote when I was healing myself from, the don't cry, don't show emotion things. And going to be out very, very soon. And apart from that, I also have a WhatsApp community. It's called the Inked Garden, where, I drop daily prompts. We hold classes on basically how to heal, and basically how it's okay to not be okay. We also have personal development classes, how to be a better person even in your healing, so you don't get hurt again, or so you don't accidentally do what hurt you to another person. Because that's one thing with people, when they get hurt, they most times don't know how to channel that hurt into the right places. They most times end up doing, what hurt them to other people unconsciously. And that's what I help my community members figure out in the Ink Garden.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. I love that. I can't wait. Do you know where all the book is going to come out, in Amazon or in other places? But you know what? As soon as you find you get it out there, you let me know, and I'll let the audience know where they could find it. That's for sure. Now, the Ink Garden, you were talking about that just for a little bit, right? Now that's on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. And I will have that also on the description, people. So don't worry, you don't have to write it all down. It's there. Um, because I get people like, "Yeah, they talk too fast," but it's in the description. Read the description. I'll have everything there.
I'll send you the WhatsApp link for anyone interested. It's completely free because I got my own healing free. So why should you pay for
Good.
yours? We could all heal together and make the world, such a beautiful place where everyone does not need to hide how they are feeling or heal aesthetically pleasing on social
Yes, I know.
media.
Filters and all this other stuff.
Like, I get confused most times when I see people, sad. I get that it's their
Yeah.
way of coping, but I've seen person that used it to chase clout, like um, child basically how daddy issues, girls
Right.
that grew up with daddy issues, maybe absent fathers and stepfathers. And, she was just making a whole lot of wrong assumptions. And I didn't grow up with daddy issues, but I have friends that did. And from their stories, it was just like she was taking it into another whole direction and everything. So my purpose is to make sure to let people know that it's okay if what you went through is different. You don't have to, conform. Your own trauma doesn't have to be another way. It doesn't have to be in a
Mm-hmm.
specific way. Like, there is no one line to getting hurt. You can get hurt in different and so many ways. But when people, get hurt in a way that it's not really rampant, it's not really popular, they tend to want to hide it. And in that process, they hurt themselves, they hurt their
Yeah.
followers, they hurt their audience, because the real truth is not being passed across, rather a
Mm-hmm.
facade of yourself. And I don't think
No,
that's
it
very
isn't.
nice.
It needs to be truthful. Even if it's your truth and how you experienced it, there's always somebody else who experienced the exact same thing. There is. We have billions and billions of people in this world, in this earth. There's always going to be somebody who experienced what you did and how you did it. Maybe you don't have, like you said, daddy issues because your father, even if your father was not there, maybe that didn't bother you, but something else bothered you. And it has to do because of your dad didn't wasn't there, that something else hurt you. You had a different type of trauma, but because of the root of your father not being there. So it wasn't really daddy issues as we're calling it, but it was something derived from the fact that your father wasn't there the way he needed to be. It doesn't mean that he was even there physically. It could mean that he wasn't there even mentally or emotionally. He could have been closed off, right? And that, I think, hurts more sometimes. And you watch social media, you cannot, people. I say this time and time again. If it doesn't really resonate, don't buy into it. Be-
Exactly. And now it just feels like, there is a certain way you have
yeah,
to heal. Like, oh, you have to come on social media, you have to post a video where you are crying and the background is dim, and there are flowers, there are candles, there are journals. And I'm like, no. The fact that you woke up today, you didn't cry for the first 2 hours, you are
yeah,
healing. The fact that you were able to smile that day, or you had a proper conversation with someone, you are healing. There is really, really no one straight path or one way to heal. There is so many ways. How I healed, for example, I volunteered at an animal shelter, animal
right.
shelter. That was where I was always with the puppies. I love puppies so much, and it just really helped
Right.
me. For my friend, she had to take therapy. So there are really, really so many ways. You don't just have to, be like, oh my God, if I don't heal this way, oh, if I don't tell people I'm healing, if I don't show up in a certain way, then my healing isn't complete. Your healing is never linear. It's never a one line straight thing. And healing can be very, very messy. It's not always clean. It's not always, you know, it's not always, it's basically not always something that you expect it to be. It comes in so many unexpected ways, and people just really, really need to see that it's okay most
Yeah.
times. And even when you're not okay, you are actually still
Hmm.
okay.
And it isn't just one layer. You may have to break the top layer and then continue digging down until you can finally say, okay, I lived through that, but I'm not holding those emotions in anymore. I release them. I am able to move on, and I'm not allowing that to affect my present or my future. You know, and that's another thing that a lot of people want the quick kill. Want let's do this. Oh yeah, I'm healed. No, that's not how it works all the
Few days
time.
healing challenge. I'm healing in a week, and I'm like, you can't time it. What took me 24 hours may take you 24 days. What took you 24 days may take another person just a little. Come on, man, you are okay, and they'll be
Yeah.
fine. So there is really, really no time frame to any of these things. So don't try to rush it. Because when you rush it, you won't see the beauty in it. You won't see the person you are becoming. You would only see the person that was hurting.
and and let's face it, we are always healing. We're
We are always
always
healing. We are
healing,
always
just like
healing.
because
When
we
it
are
doesn't feel like
growing
it.
and we're learning. So we're always letting go of that which no longer serves us for our greatest good. So we're always healing. And as it should be, we every layer we let go, every teardrop that we let release, every single ounce of energy that we have experienced that we do not allow us to affect us any longer, it it's healing. Every single drop. Right. I mean, it's like when you take a shower, right? It isn't one drop. You got to let a few drops to come down to clean you, right? It isn't a bathtub. You don't fill it like this. You try to fill it so you could actually get under it, right? So it's always layer by layer by layer. And I agree with you. It's a journey, right? It's not a one time. It's a
So
journey.
just one thing I told my Inks Garden members, I call them blooms because we are all blooming in the beautiful
Mhm,
garden of healing. I told them that you would get there, but for now,
mhm,
you are here. You are currently healing here. You will get to that point, but for now, you are here. There are lessons you being here would learn, and there are lessons in order for you to move
mhm,
to where you want to be. So don't rush it. In fact, enjoy your healing process because it is very, very, very beautiful. Healing is a very, very beautiful thing. I just wish more people could see that and not, just want to rush to the point where they say, oh, I'm healed. No, enjoy the process. The process is never ending. We are always healing. As far as we are still alive, somebody is going to
mhm,
hurt us, someone is going to offend us. We are going to hurt
mhm.
people. We are going to offend people. So we are always healing, and it's a very, very
Yes, it is.
beautiful
Yes,
thing.
it is. And like you said, no matter how much we try to be, we're human. So we're still in the human experience. So it's a continual thing. Now, when did you start that group? Long time ago, or
Okay, so I have been struggling with putting myself on the social media space because I don't know. I just felt like there was a certain way I have to show up on social media, and the fact that what I do, I haven't seen a lot of creators do it. Talk about healing in
right,
this kind of way. It was always just, oh, go to the gym, you'll feel better, eat this, sleep on time, take trips, go on vacation. But no one really, really wanted to understand the people, the hearts
right.
behind the healing. So it really, really took me time. And well, she was born earlier March this
Good,
year.
good. That's wonderful. I'm so glad that you did it. And like you said, everybody says go to the gym, go do this, go do that, but they don't even realize that each one of us, that energy, that negative energy attaches to us, and until we heal, it won't be let go. And you just got to keep working on it. Like I myself do healing sessions for other people, and I tell them, yeah, I could do one healing session, but that's just going to get you to a certain point. It's a
Mhm.
continual thing where you have to also do your work. It isn't just coming and I do some Reiki or I do some interdimensional energy healing or anything like that. It's got to be step by step. And then you also have to do your own type of work in between. You got to be willing to participate in your own life and participate in your own healing.
Yes.
Because like I said, a lot of people just think it's like, oh, I'll go to the chiropractor and that's it, or I'll go to get medicine.
I'll take a vacation. I'll go to the Maldives. I'll go to Bali. Bali won't help you heal if you do not want to heal by
Exactly.
yourself. A vacation only acts as an external push. It only gives you maybe that serene environment, that
Right.
quiet space to actually take your healing forward. But if you do not start it from deep within you, what's the
Mhm.
benefit? Because you can literally be in the gym and
Yeah.
shed a tear.
Yes. Yeah.
Be in the gym and shed a tear. It is very, very
Exactly.
possible.
Exactly. Exactly. It doesn't make any difference where you are really, as long as you're willing to take the steps and you say, okay, now I'm going to focus on my healing to get rid of all that was behind me, all that occurred behind me. So how what made you really, what gave you the passion for all this? I know I've heard about your background and you're growing up and all that, but what was there a moment in life where all of a sudden you had that aha moment? This is what I need to do. This is where I feel like the calling.
Yes. Yes, they definitely was. And that was when my friend lost her dad. I was around 13 then. And, no one could really console her because, we basically grew up in the same neighborhood where, too much emotions were considered you being too weak, or basically you just being, a spoiled child. Oh, you don't want to do any work. That's why you are crying. But that's not why I'm crying. I'm crying because something is hurting me and I need to figure out what it is. I need to get
Right.
to the bottom of it in order for me to heal from it, to grow from it, to learn from it, to become a better version of myself, and most importantly, to not hurt other people the same way I was hurt. So I realized that no one could actually, give her the comfort she was needing. Everyone was just like, oh, rubbing her head, oh, sorry, oh, sorry, oh, sorry. But no one was actually going in depth to ask her,
Mm-hmm.
how are you feeling? Like, just tell me, how
Right.
are you feeling? I know he's gone, but he's in a better place and he's always going to be
Mm-hmm.
looking down at you. He's going to be praying for you. He's going to be guiding yourself. Basically, those kind of words. There was no one to do that until date. I still kind of blame myself because I could, but I didn't. Why? Because
Right.
of people
Right.
around me.
But you were a child yourself, right? So how can you even blame yourself? You know that at that age, around adults, we kind of have to follow the rules. It's only until
Yes.
we're adults that then we could say, you know what, I'm cutting those ties. Those don't apply to me anymore. And
Right then, just follow the rules, no
exactly,
questions
so
asked.
and that's what we all did, right? You're taught that, and they did what best that they could. They followed their ancestors and their ancestors and so on and so on, and their neighborhood and the people around, and you just went with the society basically. But you do get to a point where you're an adult and then you have a decision to make. Is that really resonating with me, or am I being called to a different path? And you followed your path. You heard the calling and you followed your path. And I command you, because it's very hard to be this way and then say, no, I'm going this way.
Yes, especially when it is, generational, like, oh, my mom did this to me,
Right.
so I'm gonna do it. Your mom, your mom's mom, your
Exactly.
mom's mom. Like, it can be so hard to break away from that circle, especially when you feel like you do not owe it. Like, I was treated this way. Why do I have to treat?
So we were just talking with Ariella, and of course, she had an internet issue, like we all do. But we were talking about how, once you're an adult, you have a choice whether to continue in your parents' um, footsteps or make your own path, take your own journey. And she was telling, explaining about the ancestral and how her mother and her mother and her mother and everybody else, generation after generation after generation, were treated or acted. And she basically decided to branch off. So tell us some more about that. Go ahead,
Okay, so
Ariella.
I was basically saying that felt that I felt like, why should it be up to me to like to heal? Why should it be up to me to, make sure that the people that are coming behind me, don't go through the phase of, oh, you don't show your emotions, oh, you don't do this, you don't do that, you don't cry in public, you don't cry only if someone hits you. Like, why was it up to me? Like, why do I have to do the healing for everybody? Like, why couldn't I just heal for myself? But then I realized that I couldn't just heal for myself, because if I healed for myself, I would still have that psychological trauma of, oh, my mother did this, my mother did this, but nobody said anything, so I can't do it. But I had to, just heal for everyone. I have to heal from up passing down the same traits which was passed down to me. And that was really like a trigger for me to be like, oh my God, I actually have, to do better. I actually have to make sure that I do not become, the person I do not want to become. I have to make sure that I do something that's going to resonate with me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was
And
basically it.
that was a perfect way to explain basically at in those moments, your through your healing, your aha moments, because at that point you decided, okay, uh, that's too much weight on me. But then you realize that once you take that weight off, you healed the way you needed to heal, and you're able to move on further than all the other previous generations because you didn't follow that mold, as people say. You didn't follow what society says to do. You wanted to be your own person, which you should be, and get uh, deeper healing and more spiritually um, visible, right? More spiritually in tuned with who you are. So, um, now this really aha moment started with your girlfriend, and when she lost her father. But you were very young, and you we were talking about how you were kind of blaming yourself because you didn't say the words, but you were a child, and that's how we came about the whole thing about um, as an adult you make the decisions, and that's what I'm trying to tell people. All that is in the past. Now it's your turn. If you want to change, then change. Take the steps to change. Don't keep blaming the ancestors. Don't keep blaming your parents who didn't know any better. Don't keep blaming your grandparents that didn't know any better. You know better. We are awakening.
Yes.
We're right. We're a different generation. We have the privilege of awakening. We have the privilege to see more than what has been shown before. And we have the opportunity to move forward so other generations further down don't have to go through what we go through. And we also heal at the same
Yeah.
time their energy, the ancestors' energy. Because, people say, oh no, healing just starts with me. No, it starts with you. But when you heal, you're actually healing all those other generations back. And you're also healing the generations forward, you know. And this way, they don't feel guilty. They don't have to go through all that. They don't have to go through, oh, well, I didn't know better. My parent did it to me, so I do it to the next one. And it's a continual vicious cycle. It really is. So I'm glad that you're breaking that mold. I'm glad that you're coming around and healing not just yourself by helping others come along with you. And that's very important, especially in these times. We are poor Earth. She's going through so much. She's carrying the weight of our our craziness as humans, right? So now, what do you see for this group coming up? Like, what do you see in the future? Do you have any special plans besides the book and keep growing the group?
I see, the people that I currently have with me right now, I see them also doing the same for others. It's basically, just watching the impact you've made on people. Now it's their turn to make that same impact. And at like that, we are just going to be spreading the good news of healing all around the world, to all the globe, to Australia, to Canada, to everywhere. And it
Mm-hmm.
all starts with one person. And I am so glad that I am that one person. I am so glad I get to have this opportunity to impact others so they also can impact other people. And it's just a really, really beautiful thing. And it's something I am really, really working to and really, really hoping to see in the soonest, because as you said, we humans are very, very complicated, and it's time we actually start accepting who we are in order to become who we want to be.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true. Now, do you have children now or not yet?
Oh, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So this is fantastic because you are doing this before the children come along. So when they come along, you don't pass the traumas to them. You already release those traumas. So they have a fresh start. It's like a fresh canvas, right? They don't have to go through what
Yes.
you went through and your parents and so on and so on. Even if it's, hey, we all get challenges every single day. There's challenges everywhere. But if you have a different perspective and you look at it in a different way, you could get through those challenges much easier, much faster, and don't come out on the other side so banged up because you already look at something and say, I see opportunities in that. I see I had an accident, but I see an opportunity in that accident. What is it? What lesson am I supposed to be learning from that? And by doing that, you just create a different wave of energy that ripples and ripples and ripples and ripples. And by you doing like the group, for example, you started something and it's being paid forward because at some point, like you said, you want those people to then do the exact same thing and it will ripple and ripple and ripple. And wow, this is how we all heal. Because even if you and I don't go into that group together, and we're never in that group together, that healing energy will get to me and will also heal me. That is wonderful. And also Mother Earth, poor Gaia, she's going through she's going through a lot. So now what what is something that you can tell the audience that made a difference for you? Like, was there anything in particular? Was there any time in your life that you had, besides the aha moment, that you had another moment where you said, you know what? This is definitely the right direction.
So that would be when I started studying psychology, and I just realized just how we are missing out on so much, on how we are missing out on so much of our behaviors, the way we think, and basically how to use it to our advantage. And I'm like, okay, I am going to bring this to the limelight. I am going to show people what is possible, even if you are not really the most disciplined, you constantly doing something. A few tricks and tricks going to be good to go to start your own healing journey. No flaws.
Exactly. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. So, we are coming kind of close to the end of the show. Is there anything that you haven't said that you would like our audience to know?
Yes, and that is, I want you listening to the sound of my voice, watching me. to those of you who feel like you are stuck in, that circle of hurt that is feeling, oh, why me, why me, why me? Like, it shouldn't have been me. Like, I don't deserve this. I deserve better. It's for a reason. And it's to help you grow, it's to help you become, it's to take you to a whole new level of yourself you never knew existed. And how would you know she or he existed if you don't pass through the stage of becoming her?
Mm.
How would you know that, oh, you are meant to, inspire people, you are meant to, show your paintings to the world, you are meant to teach little children how not to bottle up their emotions if you do not pass through these things. So your healing won't always be it won't all in fact, it can be zigzag, 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 but it is fine, it is yours. And that's what makes it special. You are not behind, you are becoming,
Beautiful.
and you will get there
Ah,
eventually. You are a very, very beautiful soul, and I wish you all the best in your healing journey.
oh my goodness, that was
That's
great.
all.
Thank you so very much. And to our audience, check her out, follow her, support her. Come on, we need to support healers here. We need to support the healing. We need to support those that give healing opportunities. And just want to say thank you, Ariella. This is wonderful. And I am thankful and
Linda,
grateful
for giving
for giving me your time, your
you.
nighttime. I know that it's hard. And I just want to say thank you to our audience. See you next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern again. And as always, I love you. Hold on a second, Aurelia.